When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right, like it literally made sense for the next step in our sex life together.
Text messages and email chains and BlackBerry messages from 2007, from 2009, where Cassie is confessing her love to Diddy, or I'm a very lucky woman, I miss you, and I'd fly wherever you need me, I love you. And then you see Diddy respond, I love you so much, it makes me cry. And then Cassie writing back, you hungry pop. But I'm thinking, just from my perspective, that around those time frames, she was still relatively young. For the most part, she was in her early 20s.
The first week of Cassie's lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs has sent shockwaves through the music industry, revealing far more than just celebrity drama. Cassie, once known for her rise to fame as a singer and model during a highly publicized relationship with Diddy, has brought forward deeply disturbing allegations of control, intimidation, and emotional abuse. Central to her claims is the concept of freak-offs, a term she used to describe events in which she was allegedly forced to engage in sexual acts with other individuals at Diddy's insistence. According to Cassie, these events were not isolated incidents, but part of a recurring pattern intended to strip her of autonomy and erode her sense of self. Her legal team has provided detailed accounts and specific examples from a decade-long relationship with Diddy, portraying the freak-offs as one element in a broader cycle of manipulation, fear, and compliance that left her feeling trapped. The lawsuit has ignited a wider conversation about how power is used and abused in the entertainment industry, raising urgent questions about influence, celebrity, and the mechanisms that allow exploitation to remain hidden. Diddy's reaction to the lawsuit suggests significant concern about the revelations that may still surface, as the accusations threaten to dismantle a carefully cultivated public image built over decades. Long regarded as a music mogul and business icon, Diddy now faces a narrative that challenges everything he represents. Experts in celebrity culture and power dynamics have called this case a potential watershed moment, one that could push for long overdue accountability in both Hollywood and the music world. As the trial progresses, Cassie's testimony continues to draw attention from fans, insiders, and advocates, many of whom see her decision to speak out as a courageous step that may inspire others to come forward. With promises of more evidence, witnesses, and documentation from her legal team, the case is far from over. Just 1 week in, it's already clear that the stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences could permanently reshape the industry's future.
Cassie has been very forthcoming in answering these questions. She's showing she is asking for a freak off, or she's, asking, about just more intimate details from her relationship with him. Because to your point, Jesse, a lot of this stuff, some of these messages that we did see in court, Cassie say, Pop, I really miss you. And Diddy responding in these messages, me too, baby. Damn, I can't wait until I see you. You see a 2010 message where Cassie says, so you hung up. It's like I need to have something written out to say to you with no breathing room, or you'll get mad at me. I haven't talked to you at all. I know you have 3 minutes because, around this time, he is running a bunch of businesses. He's going to board meetings. He's traveling across the country. But it seems like, Cassie, from her point of view, just by reading these messages, that you could kind of tell that she was just somebody, at least from my perspective, somebody that was young and in love and just wanted her boyfriend around that time.
She wrote to Combs in an email, in order for me to be more open with the things we do in bed, I need to feel safe, like home, like this is my husband. This is the only man that will ever have this aggressive sexual side of me. When we used to freak off, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right, like it literally made sense for the next step in our sex life.
When powerful individuals feel threatened, their instinct is often to seize control. And Sean Diddy Combs' actions since the start of Cassie's lawsuit suggest he has much at stake. In the aftermath of Cassie's explosive allegations, insiders claim Diddy is doing everything possible to silence her and reclaim the narrative. Yet, each strategic move appears to reveal growing desperation. Reports suggest his legal team responded quickly, working behind the scenes through potential private negotiations and legal pressure. According to legal experts, the initial goal seemed to be securing a quiet settlement to prevent further revelations, avoid public testimony, and, most crucially, keep the case out of a media-packed courtroom. This urgency to keep things under wraps raises a critical question. What else might Diddy be trying to conceal? Alongside the legal pressure, Diddy's team is reportedly engaged in aggressive damage control, employing a PR tactic known as strategic silence, a method where the accused avoids directly addressing the allegations in hopes the media storm will pass. But this time, silence is failing. Rather than fading, the story continues to gain traction, and Diddy's lack of response is increasingly seen as a calculated effort driven by fear. Adding to the scrutiny are claims that Diddy has long used non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, to suppress damaging stories. Former associates allege that these NDAs were a standard tool, used to ensure that those closest to him remained silent, creating a culture of fear and intimidation. Cassie, however, is no longer silent. Despite what many believe were past efforts to keep her quiet, she has come forward, breaking through that wall of fear. Her decision mirrors the dynamic seen in other high-profile cases, such as Harvey Weinstein's, where NDAs, legal threats, and hush money were used for years to bury abuse allegations, until the truth finally surfaced and the fallout was swift. Diddy's current tactics echo that same playbook, and observers believe it may backfire in similar fashion. Suppression doesn't foster public trust, it fuels suspicion. As the public begins to ask tough questions, like why a powerful figure would go to such lengths to silence one woman, the pressure intensifies. Cassie's determination to move forward, despite mounting pressure and attempts to discredit her, signals that she may have even more evidence to reveal. If that evidence becomes public, Diddy's attempts to bury the truth could be seen not just as desperate, but as completely ineffective. His actions now seem to be motivated by pure self-preservation. Yet Cassie's stance is bigger than one legal battle. It's igniting broader conversations about power, control, and accountability within the entertainment industry. The stakes are higher than ever, and the critical questions persist. How far will Diddy go to keep his secrets buried, and how much is Cassie prepared to risk to expose the truth? One thing is certain, her battle against silence and intimidation is only just beginning.
The defense attorney essentially using these text messages to say to her, well, listen, you again were a willing participant, you continue this relationship with him. And the defense is highlighting that through those text messages and through the conversations Ms. Ventura has been having. But it also goes both ways, because also in those text messages, which there are some ones for the prosecution here, she discusses how he has been physically violent towards her. They discuss the freak-offs and a number of other things that really go to show that there was some sort of physical violence within the relationship, threats of force and things like that, which the government essentially has to prove.
I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So, to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this: you did not. Over the past 5 days, the world has gotten to witness the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So, to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this: you did not. You did not break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. This week has been extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never.
Cassie's fight is not merely about survival. It is an act of bold defiance. While many in her position might have quietly accepted a settlement or retreated under the weight of intense pressure, Cassie has taken the opposite path. She remains unwavering, refusing to be silenced, and in doing so, she demonstrates a rare and powerful form of courage. By confronting someone as influential as Diddy in such a public manner, she is sending shockwaves far beyond the courtroom. For years, Diddy has enjoyed a reputation as an untouchable hip-hop mogul who carefully crafted and controlled his image. But Cassie's stance proves that fear doesn't always prevail. Her resolve is especially powerful given the reported intimidation she continues to face, from legal maneuvering to public smear campaigns. Still, she refuses to back down, challenging an industry long governed by silence and complicity. Cassie is not following the unspoken rules that often discourage victims from speaking out against the powerful. She is rewriting them. By revealing the darker side of her experiences with power and control, She has become a symbol of resistance in an industry known for protecting its own. However, this battle comes at a tremendous cost. Legal fights of this magnitude extend beyond the courtroom, bringing relentless public scrutiny and immense personal tolls. In Hollywood, challenging someone with Diddy's clout is often viewed as professional suicide, and there are likely industry doors now quietly closing to her. These risks highlight the depth of Cassie's conviction. She is willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of truth. Yet, despite the risks, she continues forward, not driven by revenge, but by something deeper and more profound. Her actions are already making waves across the entertainment world. Industry insiders report that her bravery is sparking behind-the-scenes conversations, and some survivors are finding the courage to come forward, though many still fear the consequences. The entertainment industry has long operated on an implicit code: stay quiet, and you'll be protected. Cassie's case is shattering that agreement. Her stand for accountability is being watched closely, especially by younger artists and creators, and it's being seen as a potential turning point in how abuse and influence are addressed. This lawsuit carries consequences that extend far beyond Diddy himself. It could set a powerful precedent for how the entertainment world deals with figures who abuse their power. Beyond the courtroom, the court of public opinion is already delivering its own verdict, forcing society to reckon with how much it is willing to overlook in the name of fame and entertainment. Cassie's refusal to back down could reshape these conversations. If she succeeds, it won't just be a personal victory, it could trigger a broader cultural reckoning. Adding to the tension, legal insiders suggest her team may still be holding back explosive evidence, emails, messages, and witness testimonies that could further damage Diddy's crumbling image. Cassie's calm confidence suggests more revelations may be forthcoming. Ultimately, her battle represents more than just one woman's pursuit of justice. It sends a powerful message to survivors everywhere. Even the most powerful can be held accountable. Her courage proves that the seemingly invincible personas of Hollywood are not as bulletproof as they appear. And if she prevails, the precedent she sets could have ripple effects across the entire industry. This is a fight against a deeply rooted system that has relied on silence and intimidation for decades. With every step Cassie takes, Diddy's downfall doesn't just seem possible, it feels increasingly inevitable. The question now is what will happen if this trial truly dismantles the image he spent decades building. The fallout could not only redefine his legacy, but also reshape the future of the entertainment world.
The defense did not have as hard of a job this week as I thought they would.
Yeah. And you're right to point out that the onus is on the prosecutors. The defense can simply stand up and have nothing to say. It's totally up to the prosecutor. So let's move to that side of the courtroom. I had a judge on earlier this morning who said that she doesn't see a racketeering conviction. I reminded her we're a week into an 8-week trial, so there's more to
I don't think it's established there, and here's why. I think that there's a good bit of time being spent on domestic abuse. And while the domestic abuse is hideous, it is horrible, there's no justifying it, he's not charged with it, Victor. So they're using it in order to show that there was this environment of coercion, but there's several things that Ms. Ventura said that lean the other way. So whether it was the initial questioning where she said the reason why she started doing the freak-offs was because she loved him, whether it was her testimony that she started to view it really was like a job, that she was the person who was making the arrangements, she was the person who was contacting the travel agent for the escorts, she was the person who was selecting the different escorts based on certain parameters. None of that testimony necessarily goes to what the prosecution is hoping to prove. But here's the other thing I'll point out. The jury may be looking at Ms. Ventura as a co-conspirator, as a willing participant in a criminal enterprise. That doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't a criminal enterprise. It just means to me that the prosecution is going a long way to try to prove that Ms. Ventura was forced into an action that I think they can get their proof on where Mr. Combs is concerned, whether Ms. Ventura was involved by force or whether she was involved by choice. It would still be a crime if they can use the rest of the time they have in this trial to show that the racketeering and the sex trafficking actually exist.
What happens when an empire built on power and influence begins to crumble? That might be the question haunting Diddy as Cassie's lawsuit gains momentum. Her case isn't just about shocking allegations. It threatens to dismantle a public persona that took decades to cultivate. Once revered as a music mogul and cultural icon, Diddy now finds himself under intense scrutiny that could shake the very foundation of his career and reputation. For years, he projected an image of invincibility, not merely as a rapper or producer, but as a brand spanning music, fashion, liquor, media, and luxury partnerships. He positioned himself as one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, commanding both admiration and fear. But as the legal case progresses, that image is showing cracks, and the fallout is becoming increasingly evident. Allegations like the ones Cassie has brought forward have the potential to unravel everything Diddy has built, especially in an industry where a clean public image is essential for sustaining brand relationships and corporate alliances. According to insider reports, some companies connected to Diddy's business ventures are already beginning to quietly distance themselves, cautiously monitoring how the situation unfolds. Though it may still be early to assess the full extent of the damage, experts suggest that if the controversy continues to escalate, high-profile deals may start to disappear behind closed doors. This isn't an unfamiliar trajectory in celebrity culture. R. Kelly, for example, managed to maintain a career despite years of allegations, until growing public pressure led to a complete collapse. His music pulled, his bookings canceled, and his industry allies gone. Likewise, Harvey Weinstein went from one of the most powerful names in Hollywood to a social outcast practically overnight, with his name scrubbed from projects and his legacy destroyed. These examples follow a clear pattern. Once public opinion shifts, the professional and financial fallout can be swift and unforgiving. Diddy could very well be on that same path. What makes this moment even more precarious is the role of social media in shaping public perception. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok have amplified Cassie's voice far beyond the courtroom, turning the case into a viral narrative dissected by millions. Each new development becomes a trending topic, with people publicly debating Diddy's guilt or innocence in real time. In the digital age, trials aren't confined to legal proceedings. They play out across social platforms, where hashtags and viral commentary can dramatically influence public sentiment. That sentiment doesn't just affect Diddy's personal image. It could significantly impact his business empire. As the backlash intensifies, he risks alienating the fans and collaborators who helped elevate him to iconic status. What makes the stakes even higher is that Cassie's allegations directly challenge Diddy's identity as a tastemaker and arbiter of cool. If public opinion continues to turn against him, the carefully curated empire he spent years building could collapse under the very influence and power that once made it thrive.